Now see here, what is the definition of the ellipse you have seen? Two fixed points, just recall, which are called focus, two fixed points, and any point which is whose sum of distances from two fixed points is constant, all such points are taken in a curve and that ellipse will be formed. What is the condition there? From a point, the sum of distance of the two foci is equal to constant. Now, what is the case of hyperbola? Every case of conic you are having similar parabolas you have condition. Fixed line and fixed point distance is constant. Such points are in parabola, right? In case of parabola, four types are there: symmetric x-axis, left parabola, right parabola, upward parabola, downward parabola. Similarly, ellipse also two ways with axis, x-axis, x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. A2a is called the major axis and 2b is called the minor axis. Major is which is more lengthy, that is called major. Minor is small. Understood now? So if major axis, the foci lies on x-axis as major axis, equation is x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. The focus lies on the two foci lies on the y-axis as major axis. Always major axis 2a only. Understood now? If the focus lie on x-axis, major axis 2a, the next part is a. X by a will come. In the case of the two foci are lying on the y-axis, automatically major axis is 2a only, then y by a will come. So at that time, equation of the parabola ellipse is y square by a square plus x square by b square is equal to 1. Because a is always bigger, up of a, what is there, that is called symmetric to that axis. If x is there up of a, then symmetric to x-axis ellipse. Okay? If y is there up of a, then it is symmetric to y-axis. And accordingly, foci and the distances, all those will be derived. Directrix, lattice sectum is equal to 2b square by a. C square is equal, sorry, a square is equal to b square plus c square. That also you have seen. And E is equal to c by a. Eccentricity. That also we discussed. Now, in connection with the parabola and ellipse, we will continue with the hyperbola. Now, what is the condition that two foci is there? Again, F1, F2. This is the right side focus. So, positive a comma 0. This is left side focus. Now, I take a point P. Okay. Now, what is the condition is that Pf2 minus Pf1 is equal to constant. Or 2a. Suppose P is, why I should not take Pf1 minus Pf2? Pf1 minus Pf2 is a minus will come now. Difference is bigger minus smaller will come because this is a measurement. Measurement should be positive. Are you clear? So the difference of points, two fixed points, that point should be always constant. So what we take always, the difference will be point from the farther focus distance minus point from the nearer focus distance. Because then one subtraction is possible. In addition, no problem. Pf1 plus Pf2 or Pf2 plus Pf1, you can write anyway. But in the case of subtraction, always you write Pf2 minus Pf1 because it is farther point. Now you may have doubt. So what about this case? Q. Now for Q, F1 is the farther point. Now Q F1 minus Q F2 are yes. Then only you get positive. Na? Difference is positive. Bigger minus smaller you get. Na? So Q F1 minus Q F2 is equal to constant. So all such points are taken. Then you get. This is hyperbola. You will not come now. This condition satisfying, you will not get like that. Because you are abided by condition now. See, cooling tower of our term. This is power plant cooling tower. All these. This is the best construction of cooling tower. And where higher energy is there and gases will be easily evolved and more storage capacity because this hyperbolic structure. Like dish antenna is what you can say parabolic and planetary motion is elliptical. So this is the cooling towers, all of them. Even thermostats, all these will be. Most of the cooling towers will be like this one. Thermal power stations. Everywhere you can see it. Have you seen it now? Cooling towers will be in this way because there is more storage capacity and with energy, less energy resource contained. This is the shape of this one. And this is the standard structure of a hyperbola as a conic, as a section of cone. We have seen when alpha is less than beta. In the case beta is less than alpha, that case conic curves. It cuts the core into up and down like these two cases. And then I told you these structures are everywhere. This conic is everywhere used in the science and technology. So we will go for this case. These are the applications of science, engineering, technology. Ours is the base. So we look into this part on more detail. When you go engineering, all these, why these structures, all these will study higher. But the root is based on mass. Already you know it in this part. So now coming to the standard form of a hyperbola. Always I told you, the standard form of ellipse you take, parabola you take, hyperbola you take. The center of the given conic will be the origin. That is always fixed. So you take the origin where 0, 0. Here the conic will be like this. Yes, right? Indirectly, the two parabolas. One is a synchronized parabola. Two synchronized parabolas. Okay. So now you take this as center of the parabola C1, and this is C2. Both are x-axis. So the distance between this is A minus A and this is A. Yes, this is A comma 0, 0 comma A comma 0 minus A comma 0. This is A comma 0. Okay. So you name this. Now see here. This is 2C, C, and this is totally 2C up to here. C1, C2. Now here what happened? 2C is C is greater than A. Earlier A is greater than C. In the case of ellipse. Yes. Are you clear or not? ABC are same. Now if I take this, the hyperbola is connected to infinitely like this. Okay. If this is hyperbola's endpoint, this is imagine karna, it cannot be ended. It will go like that. If the infinite hyperbola's edges are connected, and you have these two hyperbolas infinite, will be passing through the center. This is standard. Okay. These two are called the equation of asymptotes. Asymptotes. Y is equal to minus b by ax. This is the equation of asymptotes. Okay. So there are two asymptote curves because these are imaginary curves only. Then how this is called earlier in the ellipse, what you call this major axis, minor axis. Now here transverse axis, we call this as, this is transverse. Names are only different, but the concept is same one. Now from here intersection, you draw a perpendicular to make this. Okay, where is touching? Actually, it should come like this. It should mean. Now where this is touching, here also you can go like this. This length is called 2b. This is b, and this is b. And this axis is called the conjugate axis. Are you clear? So always again, b is smaller than a, and ac is bigger than a automatically. Now what comes? C square is equal to a square plus b square. In this case of hyperbola. In case of ellipse, a square equal to b square plus c square. In case of hyperbola, c square is equal to a square plus b square. Are you clear? Because c is the largest. So understand the imaginary axis all these, and it will be asymptotes, equation of asymptotes, you know, touching the infinite hyperbolas, and from the intersection points of hyperbola to perpendicular sector, not they are touching the y-axis. Because y-axis is the minor axis. Minor means conjugate. X-axis is the major. Major means transverse. Names only change. Concept is same one. So the hyperbola is symmetric to x-axis because major axis are conjugate. Transverse axis, x-axis. So equation of the hyperbola, if I take a point here p x comma y, again like how I did ellipse, p up, this is your focus, this is center. Okay. So from this to this I take the distance. I take from here. This distance if I take, p of 2 minus p of 1 is equal to constant. Okay, then I get the equation x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. This is symmetric to x-axis. In case of x, what happens? These two will interchange. So y square by a square minus x square by b square is equal to 1. This is symmetric to y-axis. So how that curve will come? Just you can imagine already is there. Like this. Are you clear? This focus center will come, center of the hyperbolas. Okay, this 0 comma c, this is 0 comma a, 0 comma minus a, 0 comma minus a, because y-axis is like now. Yes, ellipse also 2, hyperbolas are 2, but parabolas are 4. Because parabola is half curve, so it is covered into 4 quadrants. It's a full curve. Now it is taking only complete axis. So 2 hyperbolas only there. So again, derivation is not a must for you. You got the point. Already I sent the video also in this part. Now, based on this, conjugate axis, semi-conjugate axis is B. Semi-transverse axis A. Are clear? Distance of center to C or C. Okay? C1 C is equal to C na. C square is equal to A square plus B square. And again, let us get on. Passing through the center and touching the two chords perpendicular to it. 2B square by A. Again, how you got from ellipse? Same only. And again, like there are two equations of directness. Here, like a parabola. Here also one next equation. X is equal to minus C by A. Here X is equal to C by A. Huh? Already that section we derived in the ellipse. Same concept here also because you know change na passing through center because this is equation and we have taken a point and we have derived it yesterday last time when I did day first same concept is already 2b square by a will come. That section is 2b square by a. The ellipse are see in parabola it is there, ellipse is there, hyperbola is there. We are having 3 conic sections only and we are taking the standard conic sections only whose center is passing through all. We are not discussing all the conics. We are into some part only, very less part. Where in this case, for our here, we are not going to very detail. But these shapes of conics will be used to find the areas traced by the curves in the next year in integration. So we have complete knowledge of what is a conic, how the shape, what all that. And we have a concept of calculus derivatives and integration. Both will mix in the next year. So what is a conic? You must know what is hyperbola, what is its center, what is its lattice rectangle, what is its focus, what is the principle, how this forms. What is symmetricity of the hyperbola 2a, 2b, 2c, and the relation between that E, all these, directress equation, eccentricity, and left parabola, right parabola. What is the equation of the left parabola? Y square equal to 4x. Upward parabola, x square equal to 4. Like that, you have to be able to say. So, these all things will be used in the next year for applying the integration and areas of the curves. But this year, you will be knowing about the curves and the basic parts and small, simple problems based on that. You may be seeing it in exercise also. Very easy. Standard form is given, find A, B is given, then C finding. Then once you know A, you will find a focus. Once you know C, then you will find the center. Once you know B, then you will find the semi-major axis, semi-minor. Like that, you will be getting it. Once you know A and C, you can find B. Right or not? Then E you can find C and A, you can find E will come. So from one with the other, you will easily find from the given curves. Are you clear? Are you listening or enjoying? Both. Listening now? And don't sit 2 members in a bench. You are on camera also and it is kind of instruction. One of you come forward. Change, it is compulsory, no standard, change in the rule. Somewhere you come here. But classroom should be seriousness only, don't dilute it. Again, you will be problem. When I interfere, it will be very harsh. Mind your senses in the classroom and your learning. Learning time, there should be no compromise. You are free after the class and when the classroom ambience is not there. Outside, okay, you will be as friendly with me. But in the classroom, don't try to deviate. You must know my measures and my norms when I am in class. I will not spare any dilution in the classroom when it's going on. Making fun, enjoy, and distraction, that should not happen. Some of the boys are doing it. I don't want to name it, you know it already. Be in your limits. If I tell anything, you will feel harsh. Because freedom you are misutilizing. I am giving the freedom, you know it. But it should be very properly used. As far as learning comes and my task, I am come prepared with the RS with the task of doing this part because we are bounded with time. I can't teach as you like, so that I can teach in May or June like this. We have boundaries for this. Again, we have to complete the trigonometry also, which takes around 15 days minimum. And we are missing class in between also. You know it. So such way we should not be short of time by losing our time. We are not doing extra, so why should we lose our regular time of teaching? And you have to learn. If you are not learning, you cannot learn, you are definitely in problem or at focus. And others who are learning, majority of the class, will be also disturbed and it will be lost for them also. You are not only doing loss for you and for others also. And my time also will be wasted in addressing these things. So once when I am delivering, it is your ultimate criteria that you have to listen and ask the doubts only. Only this part should be done in the classroom. Only academic part. Once the bell rings or I am free, I am sitting ideally, then you can look, no problem. We can be interactive. But again, I will not allow nonsense, you know it. Whatever you want to talk, I will not allow, you know it. You can ask anything beyond academics related to your help, useful. That I will help you out. One is there, enjoyment is there, but not at the cost of our importance. I know that. That's why I am here. When I am free, I will enjoy, but not at the cost of my professional work. So don't disturb again and again. I am saying you, once instruction is clear, maintain one seat in the one class, one bench, and don't get distracted with you by talking unnecessarily and making fun. Or else you have any doubt, you ask me there itself. Okay? Now I am clear to this part. Equation of the hyperbolas, equation of the parabolas, equation of the ellipse also. Directrix, the lines, and latus rectum perpendicular passing through center of the hyperbola or ellipse. Center is center of the curve. And again, what is asymptote extra this came in hyperbola? The infinite lines of what you can say symmetry for two hyperbola is called asymptotes. The equation of asymptotes is there. This higher level. Just I gave you an idea on it. And then center of the what you can say symmetricity of the curve is with respect to x-axis and y-axis. According to symmetricity, the names of curves is transverse axis and conjugate axis. It is nothing but transverse axis is major axis in the ellipse and conjugate axis is minor axis in the ellipse. And always in case of ellipse and hyperbola, remember that if always A is greater than B only. Here in the case of hyperbola, C is greater than A also. That's why C square is greater than B square. In case of ellipse, A is greater than B and C. Are you clear? There is right order ABC. A is bigger, B small, then C is smaller. In the case of hyperbola, ellipse means C first bigger, then A, then B will come. So in the case of hyperbola or ellipse, up of A, what is the coordinate will be there? That is the symmetric to that axis, the curve is. Because you are taking minus, it's always bigger, it should be smaller. And if at all I want to interchange with respect to axis, then generally we do interchange these two. No, denominators don't interchange the numerators. Be careful in this part. So here y square by a square, denominator will be fixed only. Minus x square by b square is equal to 1. Similarly in ellipse also. Order ellipse is with x-axis x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. Their ellipse is fixed point or any point whose sum of distance to the two fixed foci is constant. In the case of hyperbola, from any point in the curve whose difference of distances from the two foci is constant. But difference is farther point minus near point we have to take, because you should not get negative distance. Because distance can be always positive only. So Pf2 minus Pf1 I wrote, and in this case Qf1 minus Qf2 I wrote, because Q2 C1 that will take. Right? Now, in the case of ellipse, again I want to take with respect to x y axis. This will be coming. Are you clear? So interchange the numerators, don't change the denominators. Be careful in this part. Both cases I did like that one. See it. Only interchange of numerators. So if y square comes first, that is symmetric to y axis. X square comes first means denominators will be same only. A square first, B square second. That is order not change. First x square written with minus, then is symmetric to hyperbola symmetric to x axis. Right? Automatically, once x axis symmetric means the transverse axis is 2a and symmetric to x axis, and conjugate axis 2b. C square is equal to a square plus b square. Direct equation minus a by e, and then equation of asymptotes and the point center, and then 2b, 2a, 2c, all you know it. Now in the case of here also, for the case of ellipse, recall the ellipse concept. You have to recall the complete ellipse with respect to x-axis, where a, b, c will come all, and this should be framed in your mind. Then only you can recall the relations. You have to be thorough and very purely concentrative of the shapes and the components. Because once the equation is given, you will be given x square by 16 plus y square by 9 is equal to 1. Symmetric to x-axis and ellipse. You must know. X square by 9 minus y square by 16 is equal to 1. Then what about this? It is a hyperbola symmetric to y-axis. Are you clear? Because y part is bigger. Are you clear? So such way you must know when the equation is given, how that then framing, then from that focus will come 0a, 0, x-axis a0 with y-axis 0a, x-axis c0 with y-axis 0c, x-axis 0b, b0 and y-axis 0b. like that, and again AB you know, C you can find, AC you know, B you can find, again BC you know, A you can find, again equation of directrix, length of the 2A, length of the 2B, length of the 2C, all these you have to derive from one after other with the relations, and you are able to draw the figure also. So like this complete structure you have to recall. Are you getting what I am saying? With respect to 2 ellipses and 2 hyperbolas and 4 parabolas. Circle already you know it already. One standard circle is there. That is standard form. Again, that was your number. Radius is equal to root of g square plus f square minus c. Center is minus g minus f. And standard equation of the circle is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. How I am getting it? See it. As and when I am taking the conic, I am able to recall the shape and I am taking the components without break. And it is expected from you because you are writing the examination. Is all you have to recall when you are given the question. I have told you to go through exercise of textbook. Have you tried it? Are you getting that? It's very easy. Fundamental exercise only there. Non-point research section no need to do. Remaining we can do today. This time. Research section leave it because they are beyond your level, and you have to get very standard imagination for that part, and it won't be applicable to your level of 11 up to here. It is very practical and meaning like higher level examination part of the syllabus. So we will not touch that part because you can't imagine also. If you do it also, you can't understand. So we can leave that part because board wise it won't come. So 11.1, 2, 3, 4. Each conic has a formula. First section is for the circular. Next is parabola. Next is ellipse. Next is hyperbola. Yeah. Like that only, na? So you are able to complete because this part of syllabus is covered. So tomorrow or after will give these 3 days will complete, and then we'll move to the last part. And once the trigonometry completes, we may switch to revision, or else we have to go for 12th, or else revision test will come. We don't know exactly because 12th you have to go earlier, so that we may start from April 1st only. I hope that way. April 1st only. So exams will be. No, last week we were 15th of April. Maybe alternate day they'll keep, na? No. Continuation. The mass like that. So 7 8 days. Maybe they'll keep last week. March last week. It won't be beyond March. It will be completed by March. Because April was not going to start. Otherwise, we will rush off. Before? 18. And I think the other subjects are lagging much syllabus, I think, Jana's. That's what I'm saying. And already we taught trigonometry earlier also. I'm revising that part. Most of the part of trigonometry I discussed earlier when it's in the first term. Again, we are discussing now in the last 15 days. Otherwise, our syllabus is on the way. We are not lagging with much syllabus because in between we have covered extra class also with IIT classes. And other things, physics, chemistry, much syllabus is left. That one I am saying. The language and that is not a problem. Computer. That's what. So can I write this part now? It is all from textbook only there. Come to remaining all, na? 6 and a half topics are there. Derivatives is one part, already we completed. Conic sections, probability, permanent combinations, 3D, and still more. Linear programming. Linear programming, we have done na formula. Linear inequalities. Programming 12th only, I forgot. No, it is same in 12th. The extension is in 12th, linear inequalities. We have graph plotting already. You told now how to do it. Word problems also explain. Huh? I'll give you next one time is there na paper preparation. No full trigonometry. Half trigonometry not because first term we have to complete is not part of first term na. 6.5 topics. The derivative is half only na. Derivatives if you take one chapter it is 7. Because after derivatives we have covered all these linear inequalities, 3D, probability, permutations, combinations, conic sections. There it is integration it will come. Directly it won't come like this. In integration it will come. All these curves, all these will come. According to curve you have to do it. You must know. Directly on this it will not come. This will be a part of the integration like that. Everything is what you are learning in 11th class. It is completely based on engineering. Basis maths is completely based on engineering. Now see here applications of questions how it will come. You see. Time is there, I think. You can try one more question. No message has come by principal sir. Students are sitting two in each bench. In which class we don't know. He is having camera na from his room. Okay. Then no chance. No, see, as far as possibility, we can try it now. English, you have no exception. When maths, these many benches are free, we cannot say it now. Right? Now see, we'll see one question. I think still time is there. Find the center and radius of the circle whose equation is x square plus y square minus 2x plus 4y is equal to 8. Center and radius is asking of the circle. First, you have to compare this with respect to standard form of this equation. So this you write minus x is equal to 0, right? The standard form equation is x square plus y square minus 2x minus 2y plus c. Right or not? This is standard form equation. Now center is g minus c minus f, and radius is equal to root of g square plus f square minus f. Now compare minus 2x is equal to minus 2x. So minus 2 is equal to minus 2 g. So g is equal to 1. X you remove. Minus 2 g is equal to minus 2. G is equal to 1. Right? Now center is minus, it is minus 1. And minus 2f is equal to y quotient is equal to 4y. So f is equal to minus 2. And minus f is 2. Now you can write c is equal to minus and constant. Now radius is equal to root of g square plus f square minus c. Just substitute. G is equal to 1 square plus minus 2 whole square minus of minus 8 plus 8. 1 plus 4 plus 8 which is equal to root 13 units. This is the radius of that. Like this you have to do. It will come for 1 or 2 months like this. Now this time 2, 3, 4 marks back.
First and last
Son. Center question mark.
Before that.
C. Center.
Center.
And radius. I don't have written C. Center and radius is also equation of circle is given. Like this you have to go. Are you clear? Now directly suppose if you are like this. X minus 2 whole square plus 5 minus 3 whole square is equal to 16. This is the standard form. This is of the form x minus x whole square plus 5 minus 3 whole square is equal to r square. So radius is equal to 4. Center is h comma k. Directly you take. Which is equal to 2 comma 3. This is the direct form of the equation. This also you have taken now. Standard form of equation of circle. We have compared directly and we got center and radius. Are you clear?
Yes.
I hope you are getting it. Which started with a circle, which will be given the same way in case of parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola. We try to today complete 11.1 and 2. As homework, tomorrow we'll discuss any doubts or anything. Okay? Next day, day after tomorrow, 1.3, 4 like that will complete. So that we try to complete earlier. And a business experiment to do. Once we complete this, we'll go to next topic, which is the last topic and which is very important. Okay, clear? Center is minus C minus F, na? Center is minus C minus F. Minus 2gx is equal to minus 2x. The same equation given now. See, look at C here. Minus 2gx. Yeah, minus 7x plus R. Same this is we do like this. Minus z. Oh, sorry, I plus 2gx minus z. See, in the formula I wrote which takes C here or this is plus. So now C will come minus g minus 1 and here plus 1. This is plus, I wrote minus 16. And here plus 2f5 is equal to 4, f is equal to minus 2 and it will come minus 2. And center will be same, radius will be same. This is plus, I wrote minus by mistake minus, that's why it came wrong. This is plus, comparison will be same only, only formula came wrong. They came what? So today we don't have extra class, but tomorrow we'll continue. Okay?